तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति। प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते। प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते। नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिरशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्। इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावमिवाम्भसि। तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी। यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः। आपूर्यमाणम् अचलप्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे। स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी। विहाय कामान् यः सर्वान् पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः। निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमधिगच्छति। एषा भ्रामी स्थितिः पार्थ नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति। स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे सांख्ययोगो नाम द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः कर्मयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच जायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव। व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे। तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन्
So text is being displayed? Huh? Text? Oh, I see. Okay, we'll start. Namaste to all. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Vavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanina swayam Vyasena gratitam purana munina madhe maha Bharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let our study be enlightening. Let we strive with energy and vigor, and let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Om, O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, the Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. So we are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we are in chapter 11. Chapter 11. So here Lord Sri Krishna shows the divine form of him, and through Arjuna he also showed us a little glimpse of it. Only thing, we should be ready. So in the case of Arjuna, Sri Krishna instructed him how to cleanse one's heart. Heart should be clean. Then only one can see the form of God. So in the beginning, he was confused, mohoyam. He was confused, he was in infatuation for his near and dear one, and he was shunning his natural duty. That's why he did not want to fight. So Bhagavan later told that the knowledge of self, that these kings were always there. It is not that they were not there. It is not that you were not there or me was not there here. And not that they will vanish. And then he said, as this self, as we change our garment when it is old, we take a new one. Similarly, this self is ever pure. It is indestructible. It cannot be soaked in water. It cannot be destroyed or cut by the sword. And all kinds of instruction Bhagavan gave. And then he also instructed how to perform one's duties. By performing one's duty, one goes beyond this bondage of duality. And later he also instructed how to meditate, how to cultivate knowledge, and all other things. And by that, at the end of 10th chapter, then 11th chapter, what Bhagavan says, that at the end of 10th chapter, Bhagavan says, what is the need of telling you so many forms where I reside? The whole world is nothing but me. It is only objectified me. अथवा बहुनैतेन किम ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्ठभ्याम अहमिदम कृष्णम एकांशेन स्थितो जगत. Or what avails thee to know all this diversity, O Arjuna? Know thou this, that I exist supporting this whole world by a portion of myself. So, after that, what Arjuna says? Arjuna says, by your grace toward me, Madanugrahaya Paramam, and supreme grace, because of your grace. And why? Because you have explained your nature, what you really are. My confusion has gone. My confusion has gone. So, the thing is, till we are confused, we cannot perceive the form of God. So here in the beginning of 11th chapter, Arjuna says, by your grace, my confusion has gone, because you explained yourself what you are. By the supremely profound words on the discrimination of self that have been spoken by thee out of compassion towards me. This my delusion is gone. And you have explained me how you create this world, how you sustain this world. Bhavapayo hi bhutanam sruto vistarasham. In details you have said. Of thee, O lotus side, I have heard at length at the origin and dissolution of beings, as also thy inexhaustible greatness. So this you have already explained. But I am not satisfied by that, because I want now to see your form. And he further said, so it is, O Supreme Lord, as thou hast declared thyself. Still, I desire to see thy Ishvara form, O Supreme Purusha. You know, when we hear something about some place or some person, then it is natural that we want to see that place or that person, because then we want to experience that. You know, talking about Niagara Falls is one thing, reading about that is another, but seeing it's a completely different. So he wanted to see, and then he requested, if you feel that I am able to experience that, then you please show me. Then Bhagavan introduces, behold, O son of Pritha, by hundreds and thousands, my different forms, celestial means divine here, of various colors and shapes. Now, thing is, in this world there are so many colors and shapes and shades of various colors. All things are there. So, is it like this? So, what we see in the case of devotees and in the case of Narendranath also wanted to see God. So when he approached Sri Ramakrishna, Sir, have you seen God? He said, yes. It is the first time that he heard that somebody could reply in affirmative or positive way, affirmed that yes, I have seen him, and I see him more clearly than I see you. Because whatever we experience through our senses, but God realization is not through senses, rather it is direct knowledge, aparoksha anubhuti, not through any other medium. And he further said, if you want, I can show you also. But he said then, alas, who want to see him? So nobody wants to see, that's what. Even Narendranath, when he was touched by Sri Ramakrishna, he later recounted that whole thing started moving as it were and merging in that Mahapralaya. And it was all getting unified. So this is the experience of Narendranath. And he further said that we have read in the life of Swami Vivekananda and also that time Narendranath. In the case of Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna also, he wanted to have darshan, realization of Mother Kali. And he was so eager that as if he was in pain, that without her darshan he cannot survive. So he wanted to kill himself. He took the sword from the hands of mother and he wanted to kill himself. And that time Sri Ramakrishna had a beautiful darshan. In the case of Mahabharata, we see before this also, when Sri Krishna went to the Kauravas to negotiate for 5 villages, in place of fighting, why not you give 5 villages only? But then Duryodhana was not happy to even give that. He said, even I cannot give that much of earth which come on the tip of the needle, Shuchyagra. So even I am not ready to impart that much of soil. So that time Duryodhana wanted to arrest Sri Krishna. But then Sri Krishna took his own form and everybody was dazzled. Nobody could see him. In this way, Sri Krishna came from that court. So what is the point? Point is, even Sri Krishna showed his form there, but nobody could see his real form. Why? Because their mind was not ready. To see God's form, mind should be ready. So Arjuna, by this 10th chapter, and by the grace of God, and because he also was not a small person, his mind was clear. You see, seeing is not through our eyes. That should be clear. Whatever we experience, actually, even whatever we see through eyes, but we experience that. So in the case of Arjuna, when Sri Krishna wanted to show him his form, he experienced through his mind. We also experience through our mind. Otherwise we cannot. Say, if our mind is somewhere, even a procession will go in front of us, but we cannot see. Because conjunction of mind is very important. So here Divya means see divine form. Divine form, that means it's an aspect. As of now, what we say it is gross, all physical. So this is also an aspect. Last time I gave examples, so I brought a watch today. So this watch has so many aspects. So first we can see this is a beautiful watch. And aesthetically it is wonderful. But that's only outer aspect. But then it has some metals. So metallurgically there is some combinations, and not only that, there are some parts which acts. And then there is some mechanical aspect also, which you cannot see, I cannot see. We are happy with a beautiful watch, that's it. But another person who is more, say, he has more knowledge than us. Then he will see the metallurgy of it. A third one will see the mechanics of it, because he knows how it works and what are the components. So he has more knowledge than us. A fourth person will come, yes, Swami, whatever you are saying, it's a beautiful watch, it's a wonderful mechanics here, how it works. No need of even putting battery. It has some, solar cell, and it automatically works. So this is a beautiful watch. It has good mechanics. It has nice, wonderful metallurgy. And then somebody will come. He said, yes, Swami, I agree with all what you are saying, but it is made up of various matter. So matter, ultimately it is all energy and energy alone. I'm cutting it short. And the spiritual scientist will come and say, yes, whatever you are saying, it is good. It's a beautiful watch. It gives time. It has utility. Then it has a mechanics. It has metallurgical components here. And ultimately it is all matter, electron, proton, neutron, and also ultimately energy. But I know this is manifestation of God in this form. So similarly, we can see this whole world. So this is perspective. Is this perspective imaginary? Not really. This is the reality that we are to see. That we are to see that God is manifesting in so many forms. See, we all are seeking God. I'll show you that you are not away from God. You are all the time merged in God. You cannot breathe even without God. Okay, let us start. So where we are sitting. We are sitting on chairs, and those chairs are on ground. That ground is on earth. Earth is in the universe, and universe is nothing else but God. And then we are breathing. We are taking air. How we absorb oxygen, how we expel carbon dioxide, and how whole mechanics works. You go to a doctor, you'll be flabbergasted to listen how so many things happen, so many chemical changes happening. You think you are eating. Actually, what is happening? There is a alimentary canal, and we put something, and some ingredients come, and some digestive juice are mixed. Then it is digested. Not only that, then it is absorbed, and then it is assimilated, and then blood is formed, and then nutrition is sent to the whole body. So this body is also not ordinary. It's divine. How it works. You can see it. Now this whole system, how it works, even it looks like chaos, like India. In India, you'll feel that everything is in chaos. People are going, coming, like there is no orderliness. But it's a perfect orderliness in chaos. So this world also looks like that. It's wonderful how it works. So many billions and trillions of stars. And not only stars, so many trillions of galaxies. Nobody knows how many. And leave alone, because it is all expanding. It says Big Bang. Now new theory is coming that there are two Big Bangs. And they'll keep on doing this. Because by intellect, nobody can approach it. Even, that relativity theory, all this, they are now going beyond that. And this whole system of computing is also getting changed. That now we have ordinary computer, standard computer. Now after this qubit or quantum computing is coming. It's a totally different kind of things. Generally everything that we see, it is all solid, looks solid, but actually it is not solid. It's all in waves, and sometimes it is particle and wave. And sometimes we do not know what it is. There are so many aspects. Somebody says, no, 9 kinds of dimensions, some 11. So there is no end of it. Okay, we cannot go outside. What about the inner atom? That also hardly we can go, say minus 11, minus 12, to the power 10 to the power 11, 12, maybe 15. But after that it is all, we do not know. Because through object, we cannot go to the depth of it. But as subject, yes, our rishis have arrived that truth. What is the reality? So here Sri Krishna says, Pashyame partha rupani shathashotha sahasrasha nana vidhani divyani nana varna krutini cha. So blessed, O son of Pritha, by hundreds and thousands my different forms, the divine forms. Now you can see. Through so many eyes, God is seeing. I have a pair, you all have a pair. So all are various eyes. See now 7 billions of pairs of eyes, just imagine. And not only that, so many systems, so many creatures, so many trees, all are living. You can see God there. Aspects. I was talking about various aspects. You see the same hill and river and dell, whatnot. An artist will see the same thing. Oh, beautiful. What is beauty there? So their beauty is cultivated here. It is not the, see, like we see fall colors. How we see fall colors? For a potato seller, it is nothing. But an evolved person will see wonderful color. What a wonderful color God has created. So, now Bhagavan says, Pashyadityan vasun rudran ashino nana vidhani divyani nana varnakriti cha. Then he says, Pashyadityan vasun rudran ashino marutastatha. Behold the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the twins, the Ashwins, and Maruts, behold, O descendant of Bharata, many wonders never seen before. So, it is, like, as we can see the aspect in impersonal way, similarly we have aspect a personal way. If you delve deep within, this person will melt into impersonality. And if you see a person, so from person it melts into impersonality, and impersonality is also a person. So here there are so many, he says, behold the Adityas. We have already discussed this, so I'm touching the points, salient points. The Vasus, the Rudras, and the twin Ashwins and Maruts, behold, O descendant of Bharata, many wonders never seen before. And then he says, he goes further, see now, O Gudakesha. Gudakesha means who has controlled his sleep. That means he has conquered his tamas. In this my body, the whole universe, centered in one, including the moving and the unmoving, and all else that thou desirest to see. Now, some examples I gave. Now just think that you are the center and you can see the whole thing in one go. So many creatures, so many forms, so many forces are working. What a wonderful sight. Just you have to imagine. So, everything is in me. Mama dehe gudakesha, in me, in my body. Oh gudakesha, yacha anya drashtumeche. And whatever you want to see. You know, he had a doubt whether he will win or lose. So that also you can see. Shankaracharya says that even that you can see. What is going to happen of this war, that also you can see. Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva sachuksha divyam dadamide chakshuhu pashyami yogamishram. So I have already explained that this divya chakshu is not this physical. Of course something physical is also there, because Arjuna identifies himself as Arjuna, who is looking at the form of God, various aspects of God. But at the same time, it is not ordinary, it is well cultivated, whose infatuation has gone, whose confusion has gone. So this person is now illumined. And that is why he was able to see the form of God. So, but thou cannot see me with these eyes of thine. I give thee super sensuous sight. Behold my supreme yoga power. And then Sanjaya says, Sanjaya, you know, just remember that this whole Gita was recited to that Dhritarashtra by Sanjaya. Sanjaya was giving a running commentary of the war, and Gita was recited to him, and that is why we came to know. Otherwise, there was no stenographer there to take all dictation what Bhagavan was saying. So by the grace of Sanjaya, that we come to know about it. So eva muktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro hari darshayamasa parthaya paramam rupam aishwaram. Having thus spoken, O king, Hari, the great lord of yoga, showed unto the son of Pritha his supreme Ishvara form. Now Hari, who is Hari? So Harir harati papani, whosoever takes away all our sins, the supreme being. And what is that? He takes us from raga dvesha, attachment and aversion, very important. And what is divya chakshu? It is growing beyond this I, the egotism. This I, when it transcends, then only one can see the divine, not before that. So, he takes away all our bad karmas. And Mahayogeshwara Hari, who has great powers that purifies. So, as we come to God, Macchittaha madgato prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. What happens? You know, my devotees, their heart is in me. They think about me, they talk about me. So they cannot be idle. And when they talk about me, then what happens? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajitam pritipurvakam. Those who think about me, talk about me, I give them understanding so that they also can perceive my higher aspect. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. And they attain me because of that. So God is full of compassion. He takes away all our bad karmas. He empowers us to enlighten ourselves. And it is by grace. So, That is why we need to think about Him, need to sing the glories of God, and by His grace we can see this form also. Only we need to cleanse our hearts. Then what He showed him? Aneka vaktra nayanam, aneka adbhuta darshanam, aneka divyabharanam, divyaneko datayudam. Now all these are various forms. Now you also can see in this world there are so many forms and so many forces are working. So only thing we need to concentrate and we need to contemplate. Then we can see Aneka Vaktra Nayanam. What is that? Vaktra means faces. Anek means many. So with numerous mouths and eyes, with numerous wondrous sights, with numerous celestial ornaments, with numerous celestial weapons uplifted. Now think, weapons even, weapons. And these are not ordinary weapons, divya, divine. Of course, nowadays you can see, a divine weapon is waiting. So many divine weapons are waiting. Atom bomb and napalm bomb and so many. They are also they are not used. Only once it was used. But that keeps the balance that, so that this humanity is not destroyed. So Bhagavan keeps all the weapons for the protection of dharma. It's not to be compared with God's power. Of course, this is also God's power. But what I'm saying, this whatever was shown to Arjuna is divine. And it's very subtle. It is not gross like the bombs nowadays. I just jokingly said. It is divine power that is protecting us. How? In the midst of so many challenges, how humanity is progressing. It is because of divine power. So this is what he is showing to Arjuna. With numerous mouths and eyes, with numerous wondrous sights, with numerous celestial ornaments, with numerous celestial weapons uplifted. And then he goes further, wearing divine garlands and apparel, anointed with divine scented arguments and all wonderful splendor, boundless and all formed. So this is, here these are all adjectives, but it is of God's adjective, and he is showing all this to Arjuna. There are so many various aspects are there. As I explained of this watch, it has many aspects. Similarly, one has to see that divine aspect in all things. Then we go forward. Devi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yuga Paduttita Yadi Bhasadrishi Sasyad Bhasastasya Mahatmana. If the splendor of 1,000 suns were to rise up simultaneously in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that mighty being. So just imagine, these are the statement that happened. This is also, it's a tertiary. Tertiary means what happened was like showed by Sri Krishna, that was translated by Sanjaya, and then it was written so that we can have a glimpse, and now we are reading it. So this requires purification of our mind and also orientation towards that. Then only we can have a glimpse of it. So it's like thousands of sun, as it were, shining. So such was the splendor. And If the splendor of 1,000 suns were to rise up simultaneously in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that mighty being. So you can imagine, it's only translation of what? What was seen by Arjuna, then it was seen by Sanjaya, and then he described it through Mahabharata. It comes to us. So it is very difficult to even imagine. But one who are totally merged in God can see it, as Swami Vivekananda saw, as Sri Ramakrishna saw. And not only him, there are so many devotees, they saw the divine forms. And they were flabbergasted. Sri Ramakrishna said, it happens like, Eki, what is this? Ashcharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. It is very difficult, but it is possible. It is like wonder that somebody sees it. Tatraikastham jagat krishnam pravibhaktam anekadha apashya deva devasya sharire pandavastada. There in the body of God of gods, the son of Pandu then saw the whole universe resting in one with its manifold divisions. So the whole universe in one point, it's unimaginable. Even imagine fails to understand this. How in one place, ekastham, that means in one place. Tatraikastham, ekastham, that means in one place. In so many forms were manifested. Even nowadays, an atom is not visible. It cannot be seen. It is only a concept. So, that it is difficult to imagine. And how this whole universe is running, it's a wonder. There in the body of the God of gods, the son of Pandu, Pandavastata, even in so many forms, then saw the whole. Son of Pandu means Arjuna. He saw that so many forms in one place, and in divided also. It is divided also. Krishnam, the whole world, universe, Jagataha, ekastham, resting in one, apashyat, he saw. Tatah sa vishmaya vishto rishta roma dhananjaya pranamya shirsa devam kritanjali rabhashta. So what was that realization? It is difficult to even imagine. But if we keep our mind open, if we can cleanse our hearts, it is possible that that we also can have a glimpse. Later Bhagavan will say that this is very rare that you have been given this realization. It is even Nitya Deva, even divines, they are also Nitya Darshana Kankshina. They are also seeking such a realization. So it is rare, but we can have a glimpse of it, no doubt about it. Tatah sa vishmaya vishto rishta roma dhananjaya pranamya shirasa devam kritanjali rabhashata. And Sri Ramakrishna said there is no need also. Sri Ramakrishna said that one peg is enough for you to be drunk. What is the need to know how many gallons of wine is there? So we need devotion to God. That we are to cultivate. That is more important than to experience the whole truth in one go. That is not possible. But whatever is given, let us be satisfied with that. Tatah sa vishmaya vishto rishta roma dhananjaya pranamya shirasa devam kritanjali rabhashata. Now then Dhananjaya means Arjuna again, who has conquered all the resources, filled with wonder, vishmaya vishta, because he was totally totally flabbergasted. He was astonished, totally astonished. What is this? What is this divine form? Filled with wonder, with his hairs standing on end, bending down his head to the Deva in adoration, spoke with joined palms. So he folded his hands, that's humility. It shows humility that he honors the divine. Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kritanjali Rabhashata. So he said what he said. Now we go forward. Pashyami Devan Tava Deva Dehi. So Arjuna says, this is now Arjuna, praise God. O God, O Deva, O divine, I see in your body. Devans Tava Deva Dehi. What I see? Sarvan Tatha Bhuta Vishesha Sangan. I see the all divinities and all bhutas. Now, how it is possible to see in one go all the devatas, all the bhutas? So this cannot be understood until one or unless one experiences oneself. I see all the devas, O Deva, in thy body, and hosts of all grades of beings. Brahma, the Lord, seated on the lotus, and all the rishis and celestial or divine serpents. So all this, how, it has many connections with our Puranas. That Sri Vishnu is lying on a serpent bed in the ocean. What is that ocean? Ocean of causes. And when he wanted to create Karana Samudra. So what is that? This is very difficult. It is coded language. Whatever we see, it is gross. Like I am speaking something, you can hear it. That is gross. But behind that, it is subtle. My thoughts you cannot see. And behind that is the cause. Why I am speaking. So cause, but there is a cause of all causes. That is called like ocean of causes. So there Vishnu, the truth, the divine is lying. And he wanted to create. See, when we speak, our, that navel point that goes down, as it were. So anyway, that's the Purana that says that from Vishnu's navel came a lotus. On that Brahma appeared. So here also that mention of that Brahmanam Isham Kamalasanastham, because he is sitting on a lotus, and I see in you. And not only him, there are so many devatas he saw, Indra, Varuna, etc. And it is manifestation of or humanized form of principles. Previously they had 4 kinds of forces. So many forces are working, but they generalized. They found 4 principal forces that are working. And then they found gravitational force, then electromagnetic force, then strong force, and then weak force. All the forces, now they are trying to unify all the forces. So there is a starting point. From there everything emanates. In that all things are merged. So if one can realize that, then he can see all the forms also. So here, let us go forward, what he saw later. Anek bahudar vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvatu anantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishweshwara vishwarupa. I see thee, a boundless form on every side, with manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes. Neither the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning of thee do I see. O Lord of the universe, O universal form. So here we can just have a glimpse how Arjuna realizes God. In that realization, what he sees. See, what he saw cannot be explained. But, he tried to verbalize what we are conversant with. We see a person, we see faces, and when we also see the hands, stomach, etc., etc. So similarly, he wanted to relate. He wanted to give some idea so that we can understand a little. And what we do, we have some apparels, we have garlands and this, that. So all these are only symbols. Of course, behind this is the principle that we are to understand. I see the form of boundless, and I see of boundless form on every side. So form, without form, and whatever, what not, it is very difficult. With manifold arms, stomachs, mouths. Of course, we have to take this literally also. He must have seen, because Arjuna is not only in that state where he cannot distinguish. He is distinguishing, and that is why he is praising God. And he has that separate identity also. So manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes. Neither the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning of thee do I see, O Lord of the universe, O universal form. So this way, see how we can worship God. God is everything. But whatever flowers that we have, we take that form. Have I created that flower? No. It is also created by God. But we offer that with devotion. We chant His name. That name is also His name. It was given, or we came to know through His grace. So it is His grace, but we offer that with devotion. And that is why Bhagavan says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yomi Bhaktya Prayachati. Whatever our devotees, my devotees gave with devotion, even maybe a leaf, a flower, or little water, I take it, I eat it. So God accepts everything. So what is the point here? Point here is we cannot understand which is impersonal, what Arjuna experienced. But through these words, we can have a glimpse that he has boundless form. That means he has form, and as Sri Ramakrishna said, he has form, he is formless, and whatnot. So many things. It cannot be limited. So, I see thee of formless form, boundless form on every side. So there is no boundary. It is all like shining on every side with manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes. Neither the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning of thee do I see, O Lord of the universe, O universal form. So this way Arjuna praises. We go for, is it, we have a little time. We go to the next verse. Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha tejurashim sarvato diptimantam pashyami tvam durniriksham samantat diptan alarka duti aprameyam. Aprameyam. You are fathomless. You cannot be measured. I see thee with diadem, club, and discus, a mass of radiance shining everywhere, very hard to look at, all around blazing like burning fire and sun, and immeasurable. So you are immeasurable. You cannot be measured. So all these uh, articles are mentioned, but we are to see its um, it is gross form, but behind that also it is divine. What is divine? So same thing, when we change the attitude, that becomes, if we see it is divine, it is change in attitude. Otherwise we see and we say, like I gave example of this, what aspect we see. If we see only outer form, then only it is a physical item. But as we grow in our knowledge, we can see here so many aspects. And now we are to see a divine aspect in this. That the whole thing, though it looks like this, but actually it is divine. So it is that we are to concentrate on divinity. Though the things may look like that, but it is divine. Diptyanalka dutima prameyam. I see thee with diadem, club, and discus, a mass of radiance, shining everywhere, very hard to look at, all around blazing like burning fire and sun, and immeasurable. So this is the description that we find articulated by Arjuna for Sri Krishna, the divine form that he was showing, the Sri Krishna was showing to Arjuna. Now he goes further. Tam aksharam, imperishable. Akshara means imperishable. Paramam means supreme. Veditavyam, only thing that is to be known. Tamasya vishwasya param nidhanam. And you are the goal of this whole world. Let me read the translation. Thou art the imperishable, the supreme being, the one thing to be known. Thou art the great refuge of the universe. Thou art the undying guardian of the eternal dharma. Thou art the ancient Purusha. I win. So this is my opinion, my understanding. What is that? Tvam aksharam. You are imperishable. And tvam veditavyam. You alone is to be known. There are so many things that we think we should know. But if we know God, then everything is known. So that is why one should know God. That means realize God. Tamasya vishwasya param nidhanam. You are the supreme goal of this whole world. Tamabhyaha. Abhyaya means undying, or this. That means there is no change in you. Shashvata. Shashvata means eternal. Dharma Gopta. You are the knower of righteousness. Sanatanaha. You are Sanatana, eternal. Tvam. Purusha. You are the supreme being. Purusha is not here male or female or like that. But it is Purnatvat Purishainatva. That means who is full, complete. So I find you like this. So it is wonderful that you have graced me to see your form. Then he goes further. Anadi madhyanta ananta viryam. Ananta bahum shashi surya netram. Pashyami tvam dipta hutasha vaktram. Swatejasa vishwamidam tapantam. I see without beginning, middle, or end, infinite in power, of manifold arms, the sun and the moon, thine eyes, the burning fire, thy mouth, heating the whole universe with thy radiance. So here, it is called Atisho Yukti. Now this way, now when we want to say something, how to express? Even it is difficult to express ordinary things. Oh, it is so beautiful that I cannot say. Or it is so tasty that I cannot say. So here also, similar, Rupak is taken and then to explain what it is. But these are only words. One can realize this when the heart is pure. Otherwise, these are only words. So anadi madhyant. Even physically also there is no adi. There is no beginning. There is no middle. Which one is middle? We cannot explain that. And there is no end also. Nobody knows when even this world. Even matter, what is the beginning, what is the end, what is the middle? Nobody knows. So what about the divine? It cannot be known. So I see thee without beginning, middle or end, infinite in power. See, what can we say? Say like standing in front of an ocean. If you see the water, infinite. Though that infinite has limitation, like within this whole earth. But the divine has no limit. That's why it is infinite. Infinite in power, of manifold arms. So arms, because what to say, how to say. That's why arms is like expression. Manifold arms. The sun and the moon, thine eyes. How to say? So we see sun and also moon. Nowadays people would say, well, it's like moon now. America has gone there, landed in moon. And recently India also sent its, the Vikrant or whatever. So that is not the point. How to express that? To express that, he has taken the example of sun, moon, like two eyes. The burning fire, thy mouth, like fire is coming out, as it were. It is just another expression. But what cannot be expressed? How to express something which cannot be expressed? It's impossible. But we have no other way but to go through this, that we can extend our imagination, that is enormous. The burning fire, thy mouth, heating the whole universe with thy radiance. Nowadays, because of climate change, lot of changes are happening, and sometimes the temperature goes so high that people die. So, how to express? So when Sri Krishna, how he is emanating fire, as it were, because such is his power. So this is just to express that one. Now we go to the next. We'll take up this one and then we'll stop. Dyava pritibhyo ridam antaram hi vyaptam tvaikena dishascha sarvaha drishtva adbhutam rupamugram tavedam lokatrayam prabhyathitam hatman. This space between heaven and earth, and all the quarters are filled by thee alone. Having seen this, thy marvelous and awful form, the three worlds are trembling with fear, O great soul one. So, like everything is filled up. God is everything. God is in everything. God is everything. God alone is. And therefore Arjuna, he experiences this and he has no word to express. So this space, so whatever space, heaven and earth, all quarters, all directions, east, west, north, south, up and down, everywhere, it is you and you alone. Thy marvelous and awful form, the three worlds, see, are trembling with fear. So, yes, we can see this in the case of Narendranath, when Sri Ramakrishna touched him. Everything to him was like moving, encircling, and merging in one. And he was afraid. He said, "What have you done, sir? I have my parents at home." And Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, it will happen in course of time. So he was not ready to have that experience. But here we find similar things. And the expression is like that. But what it is hard to even imagine. So let me read it again. This space between heaven and earth and all the quarters are filled by thee alone. Having seen this, thy marvelous and awful form, the three worlds are trembling with fear, O great soul one. When we lose our identity, that is the great fear. Why we are afraid? Because we understand that we are going to lose this identity. That's why we become afraid. So, this is the expression that we find in Bhagavad Gita, what Arjuna realized, and that was transmitted by the grace of God and was told by Sanjaya. Then we have at least this suggestion what he must have experienced. But the goal is to experience ourselves. We are to proceed anek janma samsiddha tato yati param gatim. So it is not the work of one birth, but many births, then only one can attain or one can have this experience. Of course, Bhagavan will say at the end of this that such is very rare that one experiences this. When Devas Nitya Darshana Kankshina Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Drishtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshina. So very hard indeed it is to see this form of mine which thou hast seen. Even the Devas ever long to behold this form. So with these words, we'll stop here. Yes? Yes.
Advanced experience that Arjuna is having, is that Nirvikalpa Samadhi?
Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what happens there, the ego is effaced. But here Arjuna has ego. Ego means he is separate. He is experiencing and he is praying also. So it cannot be said Nirvikalpa, but it's divine. Maybe. That may be. You see, all this nomenclature came when they wanted to define. So it can be said. Nirvikalpa means there is no vikalpa. There is no alternation. So there is total merging of this ego. So Sri Ramakrishna would say that when I utter Omkara, I have descended down 100 cubits. And at that stage he would not even utter Omkar. There is no ego there. Yes, another.
Terence asks, was the difference between Swamiji's vision and Arjuna's the same?
See, we can compare if we say like we see both and we realize. It's difficult to say. But there, Swamiji, what we can infer, Swamiji was experiencing that his ego was merging. But here, it's by the special grace of God, Arjuna was given to experience this. As Sri Ramakrishna said, a devotee doesn't want to be merged in God. It is like he is in water, and water is huge expanse of water. So he puts his hand and makes a line. This side is me, that side it is you. So I think that he was experiencing while his identity was intact. Whereas at the same time, whereas in the case of Narendranath, his identity was merged, was going to merge. That's why he said, "What have you done, sir? I have my parents at home." So I don't think it is similar. And because here, by the grace of God, Arjuna kept his identity. Like Sri Ramakrishna gave another example. A salt doll wanted to measure an ocean, the depth of ocean. As soon as it entered, it melted. But in the case of incarnation, as soon as they touch the water, they become crystal. So they keep that form. Keeping that form and then experiencing is extraordinary. In the case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or devotees, they don't want to become one. They want to keep their identity. Chini khete bhalobashi. Chini hote chai na ma, chini khete bhalobashi. I don't want to be sugar. I want to taste sugar. So this Sebya Sevak, or this identity, keeping the identity is extraordinary. In such cases, they have capacity to be merged. But such cases are very rare, where they keep that identity. Atma Ramascha Munaya Nirgrantha, like Atma Ram means who are enjoying the self. Such a Muni. Nirgrantha means who has transcended all the knots. But still they keep this identity. Why? To experience Lord. So such case is very, very rare. Sri Ramakrishna also we can see. Though he could go to Samadhi any time in the day or night, but he kept his identity just to spread the glory of God. So this is very rare. Sri Ramakrishna would say, Rishira bhai tarashe. Rishis were like afraid of getting involved in the world. So what they would do, they'll meditate. No touch with the world. But the incarnations have this mission to paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. That means they come to re-establish dharma. righteousness, and to remove evil forces, and also to enjoy with the devotees. Sri Ramakrishna said that after having so many feasts outside, now I don't enjoy home food. So, what is there in Vaikuntha is like living there. So he would come down to enjoy the company of devotees. All these are very rare to understand. So, in short, what I understand that Swamiji's experience was like he thought that his ego was getting merged in the divine. So that is what.
Second question was in Sloka 13, and the last part of that, it says, the Son of Manu then saw the whole universe resting in one. And even says, the whole universe resting in one.
Hmm.
Then earlier on, it is said that I am in them, but they are not in me. That's perplexing.
Yeah, it is perplexing. You see, the whole dream that you dreamt last night
Yes.
was resting on you. But actually, you are not in them, in the dream world and all the identities.
And he said the whole universe resting in one.
Hmm.
Earlier saw the whole universe resting in God.
Hmm.
Does that mean that the whole universe is in God? But I thought he said I am in them, but they are not.
Okay. This whole universe is being experienced by you in its myriad forms. So many galaxies. Actually, it is in front of you like this. You are seeing, you are giving value to them. So if it is possible for you, now expand that one. Why not say, let's just divine? You are divine, the same thing. Now expand that divinity. On him, everything is resting. Everything, actually, there is no everything. It is all him. You alone are real. All your stories are stories. All your visions are visions only. You are real. All your dreams are dreams. You are real. If it is possible for you, why not it is possible in the case of God? God means we are expanding, like there is a God. But as a Vedantin, we say God is within us. And when we say you, we mean you the God. You the real you, not apparent you. You, real you, on that real you, this whole experience is resting. Anek vaktra nayanam anekadbhuta darshanam. All the faces, mouths, etc. Everything. See, I can see so many faces. It's all in me. I see. Similarly, whatever I experience in my dream, that also in me. Me means, again, the real me. Even this face, this form is also resting in that. So, individually we can understand this. Similarly, we can extend samashti. This is called vyashti, individual, and that's collective, samashti. So this way we can understand. Understanding, but experiencing is different. Understanding is easier, but experiencing is, yes, harder. That requires cleansing of our heart. Of course, as your mind is clean, you can see more things, more aspects. I gave the example of the, watch. As you are evolved, your perception also gets evolved. Thank you, Terence. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste, Swami.
Namaste.
They say everything can be replaced, and every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. They say every man needs protection. They say that every man must fall. But I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above these walls. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Now yonder stands a man in this lonely crowd, a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shouting out so loud, just crying out that he was framed. And I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Thank you. We'll meet the next Sunday. Of course, other programs are also there. Please look at it. And on 17th, we'll have carol singing. So you are most welcome. And before that also, please join us in all our functions.